books is special, obviously, but it always feels particularly special when we get to host readings like this one, which is a celebration of both great poetry and the great friendships that poetry often makes possible. Tonight's readers, Woogie Bay, Chelsea Grimmer, Abby Polikoff, and Katelyn Oppegard are some of the most talented, energizing, hardworking, and terrific poets you're likely to meet, full stop. I'm going to read all of their bios on the front end and then get out of the way so that they can wow you. Katelyn Oppegard is a graduate of UW-Bothel's MFA in Creative Writing and Poetics. All that is certain is that she lives in a van with her dog. Everything else is flux, including her poetry, which circles through ephemeral forms and gnaws in the belief that the present does not exist. For now, generally, you can find her parked in Seattle.
Thank you to everybody that helped organize this and is reading with me and all y'all in the room. This is so lovely, and I kind of feel like a little peapod neighbor to Chelsea because I haven't done a reading in a while. So what a better place and time than to do it with all my friends, so that's great. I'm going to read a few things from my manuscript that I finished, well, not really, but wrote last year and I'm always really working on. And then a couple of new things that have never seen the light of day, so that should be an interesting thing for everybody. Okay. The stuff from my manuscript is concrete poems, so I'm going to be like doing some acrobatic things and flipping myself all over. Things before me. Your feet, our hands, doorways, leeways, takeaways, movie theater popcorn, a head, lights, a horse, not the cart, the inevitable, keyboards, eggs, vistas, void, vacuum bags, circling pen caps, these lenses, God, receding gums, 4 dog-eared corners, baseball season, 100,000, the Big Dipper, the Little Spoon, sleep, dreams, unrest, the uphill, ponderosa pines, spilt salt circles, Icarus, the wheel. Things before me, my mother, our birth, peppermint bark, chickens and eggs, the electric, pterodactyls, foundings or losses, steam, herds, the sum of our parts, fever, granite, the beginning, Tucson, all acts of leaving, the seasons, bellies, the invention of wings, gold teeth, growing through, digital warrens, the high five, blue, the return, home runs, wheels, flames, the economy, history and history books, the word. If asked if I believe in crop circles, I'll answer yes, I pray. Mm-hmm. To who? To aliens, extraterrestrials, beyond terrestrials, above terrestrials. I'll change our name to terrestrials, beings more than beings, things of the incomprehensible, like love, like sleep, like clocks. In dream we merge, appear a flesh, are becoming this chicken and egg universe. The answer is in the phrasing, read et al. In the stalks and the leaves. That bending, this breaking, my weekly genesis heard through each cheek stroked by thrown stones. But on Tuesdays I press my palms to man of terrestrial, from terrestrial, against terrestrial, and in feeling my own lifelines and love lines and death creases, I find jealousy and shut my eyes that have such scope but let step to take on the calculation. This is why Cain slain Abel. And in moments I flicker between brothers becoming otherworldly and banish myself from best intentions, from our bed, out into the dark, to shove my hands into the dirt and ask to be forgiven. In that dirt, I appeal to the crops themselves. Corns get stuck in my teeth, wheat and feet and ears, all since terrestrial and mine, except I was born a steward and know nothing beneath the earth. How deep do roots stretch? My fingers dig only inches and beg for the spark of the divine in these weeds. I want to bend at my own will. How do you snap your own spine? I'll try to soften it in the sun, turning my back by the hour, following ray by vertebrae until I'm shaped like an oval. Let's categorize of sorts. Like with like, no opposites. Attraction outliers here on earth, I hear the morning. It is yoky, it is fetal, it is wide. Its expected father will wake us, but it is the sun, and I never want to leave this bed that I made myself with cotton and nails, hewn and sewn, because here stop means yes. And that's not a sex thing, but indecision breeds opportunity endless, like rabbits, like black holes. A comma is my cosmology, and if perchance I dream through breakfast, I will wake with all new scales. By lunchtime, I've forgotten where I placed yesterday. I had it just yesterday, in my cupped fist, both an offering and an asking, Schrodinger's hands, purgatorial palms, how many ways can I name the ends of my arms? Let's count until we run out of fingers, although I hear there are more than grains of sand on the beach, a shore of clipped fingernails, little crescent moons fallen from the earth, shorn from space to fill my pail, to then upturn into my own personal kingdom come. You are either living or dead, there is no both. I've been told tomorrow I will learn to say yes in the future. I will come home in the future. I will return the past like an overdue library book where there will be a fine, and I will ask the ghost for change, to spare a nickel, knuckle for knuckle against sainted gates in perennial spring. Is anybody home? Give me the green light to breathe below accordion ribs, pitched in fields of easy tall grass where I'd watch the stars, all dead, all alive, identical polars. Okay. Maybe new stuff. No.
New stuff?
New stuff.
shit.
Yeah, new shit. And nothing is titled because I'm indecisive, so that's fun. So, this dwelling is like a ficus, black and spiny, spider-filled and conscious of what I'd do if left to dig up roots. Low slung from history, we've been made to think it doesn't matter much. Plenty of seeds in the siege to stuff down our throats, burping paper cranes. This is a prophecy of sorts. I've known off course. This dwelling is a wrong, a doing, a turn, coming from all states, a way to roost until spring when cells, open and crawling is allowed among the gravel into the dirt. These things are policed by all feet impacting the goings into digestible feats. This dwelling is a body, lit from the joist in a spark too deep that starts a fire in the rot. Black mold, black smoke, backbone still standing, a motionless motion. A hard-boiled shell is still a fragile thing to be peeled away to belly, river rock baked to steam. This dwelling is an engine, rumbly and grumbly, power at submission, transit at pistons. Combustion is a hunger, and hunger is a need. To admit that is to flay, and to flay is to leave your bones at the hands of another. That I do willingly. To block is to obstruct, to block is to raise, to block is to burn, to block is too many things, none of them a constraint. I wish to forever be jacked, jilted from my embrace of every truth I've told. To lie is to fail to turn over. This dwelling is a gigabyte, squared to a T, perfect angles leveled against slanted shingles. This metrics should collapse, should fold in thirds, to be postmarked and sent away. I've kissed it for you, for luck, left in the drive of a deadened hole, land filled and waterlogged. This dwelling is brought forth, opening from open lengths, unspooling in loops. I've sat among them, tape held to light, in that instant washed down with the hair between toes. This is an absolute love, a reverence, seen for what it is, more gently than other things that never were, the difference being the towing of the difference, a subtraction, a subduction, a subsumptions, one with walls, one without doubt. So please sleep here, among my many rugs, warm with the heat of many coals, stoked with long matches I've not been able to strike up close, and the time it takes to make a choice to model clay into small boats to be launched away, there has been hundreds born and dozen lost, and some are the same, to linger, to still. Last one. Purple is the most natural color, so bury me in lilac and violet, lavender, orchid, iris, heather, grape, boysenberry jam, raisin wine, eggplant sangria, and flowers and fruit, an edible engagement. Ring my eyes and imprint my thighs. Please dye my lips plum, stain me from the neck out, wring me of all juices into a skein of plovers, plucked until bleeding, a wound unwound and yarned, yawned jaws, the hinges oiled in open invitation. A pebble the size of an egg, a hummingbird, or an ostrich is a shell the same, whipped to cream, milk to peaks, cotton and chiffon and linen and lace down to the bone. No matter the change, I am spared, like gypsum fine milled to alabaster, which is finer than plain plaster. Porcelain over calcium, over rice, over easy. A pebble rolled to pearl, a snowball inside a rock is a miracle in itself, yet every time it snows the air smells the same, and the boot heel crunches the same, and fingers numb the same, and ears and nose blister the same, and banks pile and will soon melt in the same, and now same sounds different, and daisied, and distant. Dijon dipped and butter-soaked legs spread across crusts in opposite corners of the world, honey drizzled, sun-yoked mouths whisper shout that the fields are gold, gilded wheat, Rumpelstiltskin's wet dream, melted into nesting, egged, eagered, widened, winked eyes, the creases snap-sealed vision. Scarlet endings, rusty mornings, chilled cinnamon spice heartbeats, rosy goodbyes, currant salmon, peachy keen. All my lips are open and tongued, ruby ringed and merlot muscled wide. I'd watch the sun rise in hibiscus clouds, vermillioned latitude across burgundy bellies, crimson carmine cardinals. I clip the wings, and the release is amaranth. Underbrush and old growth thicketed, caps thickening, quickened to olive pits. A parakeet eats a pickle and is dilled on the spot. It's refreshing. It's lime-soaked and sage-smoked. A snake without legs is not a nightmare. Juniper ferns as to Jupiter's return, and the earth is overrun. With thyme, with mint, with basil, with parsley and rosemary and pear of pine. The snails have come home. The weeds of the sea are slimed with dark, but grow more than the ever green. The shadow swallows the sun, which is youth. All of this to say the forecast changes by the day. Barometer drops, raindrops, drip drops to ponds spilling over with frogs and garbage, brimming with sponges soaked all the same with mud. All of this to say the deed buried beneath the forest fire is of our unmaking. It is Tuesday, the second day. Indeed, I've scorched and salted my public conscience. All of this to say, I love my life today.